Howdy y'all, this is Dwight and welcome back to my channel. On this video, I'm going to work on getting the secondary blade shaped up. And to do that, I'm going to be taking a look at how my primary blade is fitting inside the handle. One of the important things for me is to look at the gap between the cutting edge and the back spring. Of course, at this point in time, it can be fairly close, especially here in the middle it is, because I know that once this gets put under tension, the tip of that blade is going to raise up because the angle of the walk is going to change once it's under tension. But one thing I'm taking note of is here in this curve, I have a little extra room compared to right here in the center. And my secondary blade, I'm wanting to have as a spade blade. So I am considering, I don't know for sure yet, but I'm considering having just a slight recurve on the spade blade. That way I can get a really nice rounded tip on it. But since I know how my primary blade is fitting, I'm going to bring it over and set it on my spade blade material. And let me lower you down just a touch here. I'll try not to shake a whole lot. I do want to reiterate that I am doing this the hard way, because I am making everything essentially from scratch. I'd be way farther down the road if I'd used a pattern like a sane person. But I do enjoy challenging myself, and I really do like trying to create blades and handles that I personally like. Okay, so while I'm setting this blade on top of my spade blade handle material, I'm making sure that I have plenty of room to play with down here. I also have a lot of excess. I'm wanting to line up, just move a touch, get really close and line up where my sharpening tools are going to be at. Of course, make sure I'm not hanging off on the back square of the tang, and I have enough room here on the spine. And the tip is down enough that I can throw in the spade blade shape along the spine. And this is why, at least making it from scratch, I just cut out chunks of metal with plenty of excess, because I am not going by a pattern, obviously. Okay, and all I'm going to do is hold this down, and I'm wanting to scribe around the tang area, because I know that is basically how I want that to be to start with. There we go. Now the spine, I'm going to keep the same. In the first half of the blade, I'm keeping the same, because all the way up to the halfway point was very close coming up onto the back spring. So I don't want that to hang down anymore. What I do want to do is have the tip more blunt. So I'm just going to do a straight scribe line down, as long as I know my length. And quite honestly, that how I slant cut that's going to be just fine. Okay. Now before I do any work on that, quite honestly I jumped ahead of myself a little bit. I am going to need to drill the pivot hole out. So let's get the camera set up at my drill press. Okay, Just knock the burr off real quick with a large drill bit there by hand. Okay, now we have some basic guidelines of what I'm wanting to go by. So I stop the spine right here. And I want that to have a nice curve. There's where the tip is. Okay, right now I'm just giving myself kind of a basic idea of what I'm wanting to do. Okay. There we go. Now that's a basic idea for my spay blade. I'm going to, of course, shape this, but I'm going to leave things proud because I'm going to be using the same back spring as I did my primary blade to fit this together. That way when I duplicate this spring, I know it's going to work for both blades. At least initially. There is still a very high chance I might have to remake the back springs or parts. But this is giving me a good idea of a starting point. So let me get to shaping. Alright, I got this rough shaped out, and as you can see, I've left it proud of my scribe lines on the curved part of the spine. And, well, the sun glares. I got a little bit proud along the cutting edge up here at the front to see how much of this nice round belly I can get up there towards the tip. Other than that, I got reasonably close to my scribe lines elsewhere. One thing I am wanting to take a look at is to see what it looks like with the primary blade sitting on top of it. And line the tips up. So by doing that, I can see that I have a lot more belly towards the tip, and up here to half or just a little bit more. I'm still a bit proud, but here to where the sharpening tool's at, I do have it basically the same, and then it just slowly comes down. Of course, on the spine, that is raised up plenty, and this area I have proud as well. And if we look at the tang square, I left all that proud, but it's reasonably close. So now, where I think it's reasonably close enough to this, I'm going to put this on the liner with a back spring and see how things are looking with the back spring. Well, the half stop, that's a pretty good area, so I know I can keep that pretty close. Oh, I'm actually good as far as along the cutting edge or the belly of the knife, which is fantastic. Got a nice curve. I'm probably going to have to adjust that a little bit. But quite honestly, I'm going to have to do a little figuring here for a few minutes off camera, and then I'll decide what I need to do next. Okay. I'll admit I did end up tweaking the shape just a little bit off camera. It's one of those things I had to scratch my head a few times and do a little figuring. I tweaked this short spine portion there to lower the tip down just a little bit. So when we match the tips up, there is still more belly on the spade blade than the trapper blade. And there's also a nice portion of the spade blade above the clip portion of the trapper blade. So if we set this up in a ballpark area on the liner, we can see approximately, of course I can't put it under tension right now, but can approximately see a little bit of a ballpark of where we'll need to place nail nicks. Like on the trapper blade, I'm going to be really tight in on next to the handle. Like I mentioned before, I might still need to do some shaping on that. But on the spade blade, I'm kind of on the fence on if I got room to put the nick right in this area above the clip portion of the trapper. I believe I can do it. I'm still going to ponder on that just a little bit more. But I believe I have the material, because I'm going to be doing a swedge on the spade blade, and of course along the trapper blade as well. Which now that will probably be in the next video. There is going to be a couple things I'm going to do off camera. I'm going to be shaping my other liners, and I'm also going to shape the secondary back spring and of course drill the holes in it. But that's essentially a repeat of these two items, so I don't want to have to bore y'all just copying some parts in that regard. So the next video I'll more than likely be doing nail nicks. So I do thank everyone for stopping by and watching the video. Till the next one, y'all take care.